I'm Lizzie Harrison, and this is Christy Arnett. We're here to let you know what's been going on this week in poker. Thanks for tuning in.
This week saw the announcement of a new poker room in one of the biggest casinos in America, a female poker player getting signed by a top site, and the biggest tournament series of the summer making an innovative modification. Let's get to it.
First and foremost is the big news about the World Series of Poker. Harrah's Entertainment has made the decision that the main event will play down to a final table of 9 in July and then break for 16 weeks. That's right, the final 9 players will not return to battle it out for the title until November 9th. On that day, they will play down to the final 2 players, and the heads-up battle will commence on the 10th. The delay was implemented in order to create more hype for the final table and exposure for the participants.
ESPN plans to air all of the events leading up to the main event and the majority of the main event prior to playing down to the champion. That way, the question on everyone's tongue will not be who won, but rather who will win. Once the main event champion is crowned in November, ESPN will edit the final table footage and air it on November 11th at 9 p.m. Lizzie spoke to a few players who have already conquered the main event to find out what they think about the major change. Here is what the champions had to say.
Well, I think that it's probably a good thing for the amateurs and a bad thing for the professionals. But obviously it looks like it's lucky if one professional makes the final table nowadays. So maybe that's what Harrah's is looking at by implementing this. It's a lot of problems. Obviously, you can, if there's any people in there that want to collude, they can get together and work things out. There's a problem if anybody dies. There's a problem if someone might get threatened, who knows what all might happen. The good side of it is, I guess, that it makes for better publicity, and I'm sure that the ratings will go through the ceiling. And that's probably what Harrah's is looking at. So I think it's a good thing for Harrah's, and I think it's a poor thing for the professionals, and possibly a good thing for the amateurs.
I'm really torn. The only good thing about it, in my opinion, is going to be if it really does help bring TV ratings back up. So if it does mean that more people will watch the final table when it's done live in November. But if it doesn't actually succeed in bringing the ratings back up, I think everything else about it is pretty much a negative.
For me, example, like me, when I was running at the last World Series, I was running good, and so for us to stop and then go back another day, I mean that could change. That could change the way that the other people play.
Of course,
there could be some coaching involved, which I agree with Daniel Negreanu on that. And so, but again, based on the ratings of poker, I think we have to do something to bring the poker community back up.
I 100% support the final table being moved back 4 months, and because I think it's good for poker. It's going to benefit the game because those 9 players at the final table, every one of them is going to have a story done about themselves all over in the press. And so the world's going to know the 9 players when they play. So it's good for poker.
I think it's a good thing for the World Series of Poker. This not just only finish in July, it might finish and last for one full year. That's number one. Number two, since the Harrah's holding all that money, the prize pool money for like extra, 4 or 5 months, they should put that in CD and and pay the interest, whatever the interest that they make from the money that put in the prize pool, so the winner will get extra money.
Other changes to this year's World Series of Poker, which kicks off in just 26 days, include a promise that nobody will play in tents. The Rio is prepared to accommodate up to 2,740 players playing simultaneously in a total of 5 rooms. Alternates will be a thing of the past, and satellites will be held away from the actual events.
A World Series of Poker circuit event wrapped up right here in Las Vegas yesterday, and 5-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner Alan Cunningham was the victor. Caesars Palace played host to the $5,000 buy-in tournament that attracted 334 entrants. That put the total prize pool at more than $1.6 million. The final table featured a number of other well-known players, including Justin Bonomo, Blair Hinkle, and Ralph Perry. Doug Lee, a prior World Series of Poker circuit champion, was also in the final 9. Alan Cunningham, who had entered the final table on the short stack, earned just under $500,000 for beating Ben Feynman during heads-up play.
In Connecticut, a new poker room is being built, and it's banking on poker's popularity to fill all 42 tables. The Mohegan Sun closed their poker room about 5 years back, and seemingly as soon as they did so, poker swept the nation. The casino has recognized that, and they have made the decision to open a new room. Mohegan Chief Executive Mitchell Ites recently said that the Mohegan Sun is going to be a stop on the upcoming World Series of Poker circuit. He has figured it out. Televised poker tournaments are often the key to a poker room enjoying success and longevity.
European poker sensation Vicky Coren made news this week when she joined the Team PokerStars roster. As a member of the team, the British pro will make appearances at a number of European Poker Tour events. This is surely fine with her, since she already plays most of them and has enjoyed much success. During Season 3 of the EPT, Coren won more than $634,000 by taking down the event in London at the Grosvenor Victoria Casino.
Now, we'll move on to a few players that have emerged as leaders of the pack. This year's Card Player Play of the Year race is underway, and it's starting to heat up. 8-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner Erik Seidel currently holds the top spot. He has 3,700 points, the majority of which came from his recent WPT Foxwoods Poker Classic victory. Almost all of the rest of Erik Seidel's points came from his runner-up finish in the Aussie Millions main event. Right behind Seidel is Michael Binger, and trailing him is Michael Timex McDonald. Last year's winner, David Pham, is certainly in contention for back-to-back wins, as he is currently sitting in 9th place.
It's almost time to wrap up the show, but we can't do that without a reminder about an exciting occasion that is coming up very soon. The annual Celebrity Poker Tournament and Auction at the Playboy Mansion, sponsored by Card Player, is only a few weeks away. Proceeds from the event benefit the Urban Health Institute. On May 17th, you can spend your night hanging out at the mansion in Beverly Hills for $500, and for $1,500 you can gain entry and a seat in the tournament. Log on to uhievents.org for more information.
And that wraps up This Week in Poker. I'm Christy Arnett.
And I'm Lizzie Harrison for Card Player TV. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.